heard your take a little bit on the Steven Crowder scenario. But I know there's been some, I think, some more recent developments. So I wanted to see if you had anything else you wanted to add regarding the whole Steven Crowder controversy. His beef with Candace Owens, just that whole that whole division in general. What are your thoughts around that?
Crowder has been a guy that a lot of us have not liked for a long time. People that are in the conservative space, we don't really like him because he's been known to be like this to people, not just to his wife, but to just anybody that he meets, and coworkers, people that come on the show. He does it to everybody. He's not. This is pretty much what he does, and a lot of us don't like him for that. I've known about him for a long time, being like that. I haven't really said anything because there's no reason to. Like, I ain't gonna just make a video saying, "Hey, I know something about you." I'm not gonna do that. But then the first thing that happened was the whole issue with Daily Wire and the contract that he put out. Now, I was also on Anton Daniel's channel talking about just Pearly things and her contract with Sarah Garvey, but there's a difference. You see, they both wanted access to both people's channels, but Daily Wire wanted to pay Crowder $50 million for 4 years to have access to it. $50 million for 4 years. And Crowder was like, "Oh, that's a slave contract." And it's like 50 million. You talking about like basketball player money? Like, come on, what are we talking about? Like, nobody in our space, like online conservatives, get paid that kind of money. I mean, you got to be doing like cable TV. You got to be like Tucker Carlson. You got to be the highest of the high. Yeah. And these guys, they hide parts to the bone on TV. Like, you're not going to get that kind of money on or Rumble or Daily Wire or something like that. I mean, anyway, I digress. The whole point is that contract was a very good contract. He was getting mad because they would dock his pay if he missed a show. It's like, well, that's how it would normally be. If you're not there for a show, like if I don't make content for a day or two, I won't make money for those days or two. As far as my new content, I have my previous content make money, but not my new content. So it was weird. Now, as far as just to explain what I was talking about with just Pearly things to make the contracts between the two contracts, she wanted to put Sarah Garvey on a contract where she would take 70% of his ad rev and not pay him, but pay him a percentage of the ad rev. That's crazy. What they wanted to do on Daily Wire was actually pay him a salary, a contract, $50 million. She wanted to pay zero upfront, just a percentage of whatever his channel would generate. But she did not really have much to offer him other than like editors. Like, that's not worth 70% of your ad revenue. So it wasn't a good contract. Daily Wire was going to put him on their website, a subscription service, give him access to their sponsors, all of that, and pay him. Different story. And they were going to lease his content for a certain period of time on the contract. So 2 different contracts. But that was my first issue. Then he put out his friend Jeremy Boring about that, recorded him, put the conversation out there. So I did a video about that, didn't like him on that. But I already knew kind of how he operated before then. And then here comes the divorce situation. Now, he's accusing Candace of trying to extort him in the video because she was saying, "Let's pray for Crowder. He's going through a few things. Let's pray for him." She did not say Crowder's getting a divorce. I know it. Maybe he thought in his mind that she knew about it and that she was trying to hold it over his head and extort him. But the reality is, we already knew that. I didn't know it, but a lot of people I know knew it for months. And when she filed a divorce, it's public record. Fresh and Fit pulled it up on their stream. The document's up on stream, on live stream. So it's like anybody could have seen this. And Candace Owens did know something was going on, not because she had insider information. It's because she has a thing called women's intuition, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, where y'all just know certain, you just add 2 and 2 together. What she did was she went to his Instagram page and to her Instagram page and realized they were not following each other. So, of course, you're using your brain and saying there's something wrong there. That's all. It was that simple. Anybody could have made that inference. So he's accusing her of trying to extort him. But really what he did was just get paranoid and nervous and attack her for no reason and then out himself. And in the video, he said, "I picked wrong." That right there, real men understand not to do that. I don't care who you marry. You could be married to Lorena Bobbitt. You could be married to the worst woman on planet Earth. You don't say stuff like that, especially during a divorce. He's still married, by the way. During a divorce, with court action going on, and you got twin boys with your ex-wife, little like 2-year-olds, toddlers, not even talking yet. So it's like when you said something like that, I knew right away it was going to be a problem because that's going to upset the ex-wife and her family. And as a result, they put the video out there of him talking crazy. He was talking crazy to his wife, talking about you're not going to do wifely things. And I got to say this, a lot of guys, they watch and consume RP content and they take things too far. Guys don't speak like that in real life unless they're an abuser or something. We don't talk to women like that. We don't just say, oh, do this and do. It's like a fake alpha male. If you're a true quote unquote alpha, you don't do much talking. You don't do much talking. Your presence speaks for you. Okay. And y'all going to be on the same page. You're trying to control her. Oh, one more thing. He was trying to control her with the vehicle. If you notice, they only had one car. But it's like, hey, if you're Steven Crowder, you're a multi-millionaire. You got 6 million subs. You have more than one car. All right. And you can afford it. And the reason why I know that is because he left her during the divorce. During the pregnancy. He left her and bought a townhouse for himself to live in. So if you could buy a townhouse for yourself, you could buy another car. But the reason why you had one car is to control the movement. The whole barefoot pregnant, you can't go nowhere. I control whatever you do. That's not how men operate. We don't move like that. You know, you got to have freedom, go run errands, have brunch with your girls. I ain't trying to control you. I'm not insecure. I'm not any of that. So a guy like that is the exact opposite of how you should behave towards women and quite frankly, toward anybody.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. So I guess I didn't know he was so, I guess, controversial among the conservatives.
Oh yeah. Like we already knew all this. Like a lot of people are just now seeing about him because of the video that kind of went viral. But we known about this guy for years.
And if you guys knew about it, why don't you think he was outed sooner?
I mean, there's no need to. It's like, what are we going to do? We're going to put out a video that says Steven Crowder is a bad person. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, it's no purpose, especially since he's a conservative guy. So it's like, it's no real reason. There's no news story. There's nothing to really say. There's a lot of guys that I know that are bad people, but I have no reason to make a video about them really because there's no news story. If I make a video about some random guy in the movement, then it's just like me hating on him. And that's kind of what it would be because there's no reason. Like I might not agree with somebody, I might not like him, but if there's no news story to attach him to, then there's no reason to make a video about him.